Hey guys, Dash Rollin here with a list of urban legends. Urban legends were and continue to be creepy and disturbing stories that friends pass around. Kind of like campfire stories to scare kids. But what's even creepier about these is sometimes they're true. So without further ado, this is my top 10 list of urban legends. Number 10. Sewer rats. You always hear those rumors about alligators living in the sewers, especially if you live in New York. But there was an instance of a four-legged creature crawling up the pipes. There actually have been a few stories of people who have seen a rat appear in their toilet because it crawled up the pipes. One such man didn't even know it was there until it bit him in the ass. So look before you pop a squat. Number 9. Kidney thief. Here's an urban legend that I'm sure everybody has heard. But in case you haven't, this is how it goes. A man gets roofied at a bar by a woman who then proceeds to take him back to her place. He passes out, and by the time he wakes up, he's in a bathtub full of ice, missing his kidney. And it gets better since situations like this actually happen. Healthy kidneys fetch a pretty penny on the black market, so don't go drinking in foreign countries. Number 8. Buzzing in your ear. Most people will tell you that they don't like creepy crawly things. And here's a good reason to like them even less. After a trip to Peru, a woman started to get headaches and would hear scratching in her own head. Turns out, flesh-eating magnets had nested inside her ear canal. Ugh. Number 7. Dead or alive. This is a story about someone riding on a bus who everybody ignores until he and the bus driver are the only ones left on the bus. When the bus driver goes to ask him politely to get off the bus, he finds out that the passenger is dead. Now, anybody who rides the bus or subway regularly can tell you that this is a normal occurrence. Number 6. Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light? Speaking of death, this is a story about two girls who were roommates in college. One of them is sleeping in their dorm while the other is studying. The one girl goes to the dorm to retrieve a book and asks her roommate if she can turn on the light because she's having trouble finding it. But she only gets heavy breathing in response. She eventually finds the book and leaves. The next day, after not seeing her roommate in class, she goes to the dorm to check up on her, only to find the girl brutally murdered, with writing on the wall that says, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?" Number 5. Dead in bed. Talk about ruining a vacation. Here's a story about a couple staying the night in a motel and complaining about a foul odor in the room. The next morning, the staff go to investigate the source of the smell, only to find a decomposing woman stuffed in the bed. This has actually happened in many different places multiple times. Number 4. Evil elevator. You know how elevator doors will recognize when there's someone or something blocking the way and stop closing the doors? Some don't. For instance, there are some real stories about people getting caught with the doors and either getting cut in half or decapitated. I feel sorry for the people stuck in that elevator ride. Number 3. Buried alive. There have been lots of stories and even movies about people being buried alive, but it used to happen a lot. So much, in fact, that they used to tie a cord to the deceased's toe so that they could ring a bell above ground and maybe somebody would hear them. In more recent years, there are still cases of people who wake up from death in their own coffin without a bell. Number 2. Botched surgery. What if you went in for a minor surgery and woke up missing a limb? Well, this has actually happened. There was a psychotic man who became a professional doctor just so he could maim his patients. Wherever he went, he left a trail of disfigured people until he eventually killed himself. And finally, number 1. Unknown roommate. You know when you get that feeling that someone's watching you? You might just be right. There was a story about a man who was constantly finding his belongings misplaced and food missing from his house even though he was the only one living there. He set up a surveillance system and found out that a homeless woman had been living in his cupboard and would sneak out when he wasn't around to retrieve food. The fun thing about this is while he was watching the surveillance video, the cupboard was just a few feet away. So that was my top 10 list of urban legends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like to let me know. Don't forget to leave a like and help the channel grow by sharing and subscribing for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Clowns. These clowns are painted by Lisa Lee. Clowns are creepy and even disturbing to some people. However, these paintings have been reported by viewers to cause dizziness, nausea, a sense of derealization, the feeling of being choked, and a whole list of other symptoms. Number 4. Pogo the Clown. Once again, this is